Just sit up tall for a moment. You can sit with your legs crossed or your feet on the floor. And I just want you to close your eyes and to start to deepen your breath. Just feel like each inhale becomes a little deeper than the one before, and that each exhale becomes a little longer. And you want to feel like you're getting your breath kind of deeper than the chest area, like rib cage, maybe even belly, low back area. And then really feel like that all draws back in nice and long as you exhale. And then as you continue to breathe deeply, I just want you to do some shoulder rolls. So just lift your shoulders up towards your ears, let them drop back and down, bring them forward and up. So big and slow if that feels comfortable. If you're feeling really tight, they may not be that big. Don't worry about it. Just breathing deeply through the nose. Let's just do a couple more of these shoulder rolls. And then let your shoulders relax. Take a moment here to listen to the sound of your breath. Just listen to the sound of your inhale, the sound of your exhale. And then just in your mind's eye, either if you're good with visualizing, if you're not, I just want you to get a sense of like you being kind of like in this beautiful like bubble of white light. So you can imagine it, like a bubble, like a sphere of just white light all around you. Just allow it to make you feel safe, comfortable. Allow that white light just to help you feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And then within this white light, I want you to just imagine that there is an animal with you by your side. Just no judgment, don't worry, just whatever animal showed up. And just kind of notice the animal, thank it for being here. You might like to ask yourself or the animal, like, what guidance do you have for me? Or what's your message? Or maybe there's just an energy you associate with this animal. And so as soon as the animal showed up, you just kind of knew that was your message. And then still breathing deeply. If your breath relaxed, just go back to making it a little deeper. Just place one hand on your heart. And just say, I am safe. I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am perfect exactly as I am. And then come up with a positive thing to say about yourself on your own. So it could be an I am statement or whatever pops into your head. And then just allow a little smile to come on your face. And thank yourself for taking this time to shift to your energy and tend to your vibration. So then on your next inhale, just make it really deep and hold it at the top. And whenever you're ready, exhale. You can let your hand come down. You can open your eyes. And so just check in to notice how you feel now. So you might have felt nice and relaxed before, but usually after even just doing a little bit of that, you may realize that when you started doing the shoulder rolls, you started deepening your breath, that you might have been a little bit tense or tight or even, cranky. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, no, this feels so much nicer. And hopefully you feel really like even just a little bit more supported, a little bit more positive. And so that's an example of attending to your vibration. So just meaning like everything is energy and your energy. And a lot of times, like our thoughts can create our emotions, and then our emotions attract things into our life. So you want to kind of just stay in check of how are you feeling. I mean, a lot of times it's saying like thoughts become things, but it's because your thoughts create your feelings. And so like that was just a nice way to shift. Like if you're feeling stressed, you're feeling lost, you're feeling stuck, like if you just did that little moment, breath, and then I like getting into the physical body a little bit, and then kind of getting into the energetics when you picture white light around you, or having like an animal show up, and that's just truly getting into your intuition, your higher self to show up for a message for you. And then for you to say something nice about yourself, it just shifts things, and it all of a sudden makes you realize, that maybe things are going to be okay. And it usually happens when you do get quiet and you tune everything else out and you give yourself that moment. And that's, I mean, the reason I wrote the book is because I struggle with that. And the more I do it, then the more life flows. And the less I do it, the more I do have those feelings of anxiety and feeling stuck. And so it's a beautiful practice. And that's how I always like to share it, is doing it first. And so then I like to say in my book, I say like, like the way you tend to a garden is to kind of think of that. Like you have to do it on a regular basis. And, you plant seeds and then things come up later. So just like thinking of that with your vibration, you start doing that a little bit more. And then it's interesting, more things are going to start showing up. And it's just really beautiful.
I really like that imagery of tending to yourself as you would a beautiful garden.
And it says like learn to use nature, breath, thoughts, imagination, and energy to get unstuck and into the flow of life. So it's like each one will start off with like a quote, and then there's the lesson. Like this one is crystal, so then there's some pages, and so each one has a quote to start, and then they all end with a positive affirmation. And then there's just 4 sections are